First battle in the AFC West. Broncos almost 10-point favorites when they host the Raiders. Here's the current odds in the AFC West. Broncos 7-2, they're in first. Chargers actually have worse odds than the Chiefs, and then the Raiders way far back. A Broncos win would mean what to you, Nick?
A Broncos win would be mandatory. They lose in a week from now, they're not going to be leading the division anymore. So it would, but I don't want to say they have nothing to gain in this game. The Broncos this year have twice looked good for 60 minutes against the Cincinnati Bengals and the Dallas Cowboys. The two teams that when anybody else lights up either one of those defenses, we're like, yeah, but it's the Cowboys or it's the Bengals. Every other game they've played, they have either lost or trailed in the fourth quarter. It was a 1-point game against Tennessee in the fourth quarter. It was a 1-point game in the Jets that they were trailing in the fourth quarter. We know what the fourth quarter was against the Giants. They were trailing Davis Mills by a touchdown 3 days ago. People should not conflate my Broncos skepticism with an old Broncos-Chiefs rivalry that's been long dead. What they should recognize it as, I've watched this team every week, and there have been 2 times all year where it's like, wow, the Broncos imposed their will and controlled that football game. The defense has been awesome all year, and the offense has been pulling teeth all year and then has had these magical fourth quarters, which against Philadelphia means a lot to me. Against the Jets and the Texans with Davis Mills and the Giants means a lot less to me. And so the Bo Nix stuff is, he has been brilliant in fourth quarters. Brilliant. We can show it to you. And they have been brutal in quarters 1 through 3. So tonight, what they should do on a short week in their building against the Raiders is control the game from start to finish. Do I think they will? No, because they have not done that against any team that has a defensive pulse. And so, no, I guess that's my answer.
Yeah, we're pretty aligned on the Broncos, and this is a tough spot just in your best defensive player, Surtain, is out. The best player on the Raiders, other than Max Crosby, Brock Bowers, finally looked 100% healthy last week. He looked amazing. Weird things happen in division games on Thursday night. I'm not expecting a Denver blowout, but because of a 3-point win against Houston, a 1 or 2-point win against the Jets and the Giants, they have built themselves a little cushion here where if we throw up the Broncos schedule and if they just beat the teams they are supposed to beat, if you beat the Raiders twice, you beat the Commanders with their injury situation, and you beat the Jaguars at home, they're an 11-win team that's going back to the playoffs.
Oh, yeah. I mean, at this point, it'd be shocking if they missed the playoffs. I think the question is, are they going to win the division? And
it's on the board.
Oh,
it's
on the board.
And a win tonight just allows them. They're already in the driver's seat. Right now, they're in the driver's seat. We can almost scratch off, and Chargers fans can hate it to listen to this. We can almost discard the Chargers because I believe that we all are in unison to believe that they're going to fall off. But the team that they're going to have to continue to separate themselves for, if they can, is the Chiefs. They win tonight. That puts them at 8-2. That's a nice little cushion, being that you play this team next week.
Oh, yeah.
You play them next week, and you talk as if it is absolutely impossible that they can beat the Chiefs.
I think the Chiefs coming off
and they can.
I think I'm not going to say it's impossible. I would be absolutely stunned.
I think a lot of us
coming off a bye, the Chiefs lose to Bo Nix.
Is it fair to say that you've been stunned almost every week watching the Denver Broncos and how they?
No, it's not. It absolutely. I said on this show before the season, I think they're going to start 6-2
I'm not talking
and miss
about
the
what
playoffs.
I'm not talking about that.
They said they're going to start 6-2.
Having watched them play in these games.
No, so
based on what we see when we're watching these games through quarters 1 through 3, and then are we shocked when they come back? Yeah.
Oh, okay. So to answer your question, when I watch the Broncos every week, for the first 3 quarters, I'm not stunned at all. I'm like, this is exactly what I expected. And then in the fourth quarter, I'm surprised.
Exactly.
Okay. You know what's so hilarious? You don't get to drop banners and do the trolling and do the whole nonsense and then say, guys, you don't conflate the whole Kansas City Chiefs Broncos rivalry with what I'm saying about the Broncos. You don't get to do that. You don't drop the banners. You don't get to say that Bo Nix is bad, that Sean Payton is bad, that the Broncos are bad. Like that, no matter what you see, you don't like them. They're not good. 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 Making fun of them nonstop, and then be like, "Listen, don't just because I don't believe in the Broncos doesn't mean that it's because of this rivalry with the Chiefs." You don't get to do that. You don't get to do that. Okay, it's the version of crying wolf. Okay? Do they still tell that story to kids these days? Is there a new version of it? Don't text wolf. I don't even know, man. It's just ridiculous. It really is. It's just it's so funny. It really is. And that's why I do think it is ridiculous that the Chiefs have a bye going into the divisional game against the Broncos. That is such a major advantage. And the NFL knows that. Just with any team, let alone with Andy Reid. Which is so infuriating, honestly. Shouldn't be that way. But it is. You have to just accept it. But yeah. I mean, we're downplaying a team that's 7-2 that, again, I concede they're not playing the best version of football. They're not even playing the level of football that I expected them to be playing. Bo Nix is not playing as great as I expect and anticipate him to be. That is all true. That is all true. And we are seeing amazing moments out of this Broncos team and out of Bo Nix and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But what we're really doing here is we are significantly elevating any of the poor play and saying this is the core. This is the soul of this team. This is the soul of Bo Nix. And any of that other stuff is just kind of goofy, weird stuff that just like, yeah, it's football. You know, it's weird. There's times that you flip a coin and like, for whatever reason, like 8 times in a row, it's tails. And you're like, what? It's tails 8 times in a row? No way. It's like, whatever. Who cares? Like, that's what we're treating it as. And if before anyone wants to say anything where they're like, well, you know, what do we have to go off of? How about last year? How about just Bo Nix's career as a whole so far? And the success that he had as a rookie? And the success that this Broncos team had in year 1 with Sean and Bo. The fact that they actually got to the playoffs for the first time in like a decade. Like, how about that? Does that not mean anything? Is the fact that Bo Nix is number 1 in all the stats from his quarterback class, you know, passing yards, touchdowns, et cetera, like none of that matters at all? None of it? None of it. We can only ever use a frame of reference for a Patrick Mahomes. Like, that's the only time. Apparently, that's the only time we can ever use a frame of reference from the past. If it's Josh Allen, it's, well, the frame of reference is he can't get the job done. Lamar Jackson, it's he's a choker. Jalen Hurts is like, what did he do in 2023? I don't care about 2022. I don't care that he was an MVP candidate. Well, what about 24? I don't care that he won the Super Bowl and that he was a Super Bowl MVP. That doesn't count. We only can use 23 as a reference point for Jalen Hurts. And for Bo Nix, when you use a reference point, no. And it's like, why? What? Huh? I don't understand. I don't understand. I'm live streaming this game. I meant to say that in the very beginning. I'm live streaming this game. I'm live streaming this game. So come on down. Enjoy the party. Come join the party. But this conversation, this conversation about the Denver Broncos, like, I do need the Denver Broncos to become the team that they're supposed to be right now. Okay? Like, they do need to do that. And we kind of make the argument that the Raiders are playing better right now, that they got off to a really, really, really rough start because of because of injuries, we're, integrating, a new coaching staff, quarterback, like a lot of moving parts, and that they're playing better football, today than they were yesterday. All true, all fair. Divisional game, Thursday night, weird stuff happens. All true. I really do not want to come on tomorrow on Friday and be like, yeah, I know they lost, but really, like, it's not that big. It's like, just take care of business. 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 Absolutely. Like, you are in the driver's seat. The Broncos do need to figure out how to be better in quarters 1, 2, and 3. No question about it. And even though it's a divisional game, it's a new coaching staff within the division. So it's like, it's a divisional game, but it's like a different divisional game. Yeah, you're having the players rise to the occasion or whatnot, but the coaching staff isn't as dialed in. It's different when it's the same coaching staff and the bulk of the same just even the same quarterback alone, right? Like, it's not like Sean Payton and the Broncos have been going up against Pete Carroll and Geno Smith and the Raiders for like the last 3-4 years. Like, that's not what's happening here. So this shouldn't even have that same flavor of like, it's a divisional game, things get weird. Again, you're going to have the players want to elevate because they understand, but still, it's not like you truly know this team at its core as well as you would, under normal circumstances of a divisional game, that is. So make it happen. Like, now is the time to build that momentum, to prove who you are as a team. You don't have to blow them out. You don't have to win 35-7. That is never my take ever. I always just use words like convincing, be in control for the whole game. Never get the feeling where you're like, I don't know, man, they score here. It's only a field goal. They're all down by 3, and the Broncos haven't been able to move the ball, so it's not hard to imagine that they don't, they got to get at least a field goal here. Otherwise, they're in trouble. Like those moments should not necessarily happen. Even if they are playing better right now with the Raiders, but you're still supposed to be the better team. Clearly. And, these odds are for real. I think it was plus 50,000 if I looked at that correctly. Yeah, 50,000 to win the division. Odds to win the division. 150 for the Chiefs, 425 for the Chargers, and then the Broncos, 105. When the Chiefs beat the Raiders, banners were dropped. When the Chiefs beat the Commanders, banners were dropped. It's time for the Broncos to really answer the call here. Really take care of business. I'm not saying you have to win by 9, 9.5 plus 14, etc., etc. Just be in control of this game. Have us watch this game and be like, that's the Bo Nix that we know Bo Nix can be. That's this offense that we know it can be. That defense is resilient and deep. It doesn't fall all on the shoulders of one individual player. And certainly, if you're not bringing your A game, you're in trouble. The Jaguars found a way to beat the Raiders. And it got a little dicey, got a little weird, and probably should have been a tie. But, they obviously went for 2. You're better than the Jaguars. You're better than the Raiders. Right? Be better. Be better. Take care of business. And find how to get these stats, the fourth quarter stats, to just be a little bit more in the first quarter, second quarter, and third quarter. You do that, everyone's happy. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Denver Broncos? Nick's refusal to accept them as a legitimate team. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, Let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, because it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.